Are you drowning in a sea of unread books with your nightstand struggling under the weight of them all stacked up? Imagine breezing through them all, not just faster, but with deeper understanding. So in our information-soaked world, reading is not just a pastime, it is a vital skill. But here's the secret. Reading quickly doesn't have to mean sacrificing comprehension. In fact, with the right techniques, you can double, triple, or even quadruple your reading speed and retain more of what you read. So these are the tricks that worked for me, helping me double my reading speed in just 7 days. Subvocalization. Meet subvocalization, the invisible anchor that's likely been weighing down your reading speed for years. It's that subtle voice you hear in your mind as you read, echoing each word as your eyes scan the page. It's like a narrator of your own private audiobook, but it's often an unwelcome guest. Why? Because subvocalization ties your reading speed to the pace of your speech, which is considerably slower. Subvocalization, while a natural part of reading, essentially limits you to read as fast as you talk. For most people, that's a range of about 150 to 250 words per minute, a snail's pace in the grand marathon of literature. So how do we silence this inner narrator? Start with awareness. I think that's the most important thing. Catch yourself in the act of subvocalization and consciously focus on not vocalizing every word. So you can try this exercise. As you read, imagine the words are being displayed on a screen in front of you and you are an observer, not a speaker. So your eyes are spectators, not performers. And the impact is like upgrading from a leisurely stroll down the park to a brisk jog through the world of words. By reducing subvocalization, you're not just speeding up, you're unlocking a new level of fluidity, efficient reading without sacrificing an ounce of comprehension. It's not about racing through sentences, it's about setting a pace that lets you absorb more sentences. And more importantly, more knowledge in less time. Dividing the page into 3. We've all been there, your eyes are darting back and forth across the page like a tennis match in fast forward. It's exhausting, right? Now let's reimagine reading through a different lens. Literally, imagine dividing your page into 3 distinct visual fields, like slicing a cake into equal thirds. This isn't just a quirky idea, it's a game changer for how your eyes capture text. So then it's like, okay, why slice the literature cake this way? Because it reduces the marathon of eye movements to a focused, efficient sprint. And by training your eyes to move slowly across these thirds, you're minimizing distractions and sharpening your focus. It's like giving your eyes a roadmap for each page, boosting your reading speed as your eyes gradually waltz from one third to the next. So if you're ready to give it a go, here's how you do it. As you read, consciously aim to look at only 3 points on each line, beginning, middle, and end. Visualize these points as anchors, guiding your eyes smoothly across the page. It's a simple shift, but the effects can be really profound. And it's not just like a neat trick, right? It's grounded in science. Our eyes and brain are a tag team, processing chunks of text as units, not isolated words. As we're trying to optimize our time and get as efficient as we can be, have you ever found yourself swamped with Zoom meetings just to explain the same process over and over to a different team member? Because I've been finding myself in that situation so often over the first few months of this year. But that's where Tango, this video sponsor, come in. So Tango is a browser extension and desktop app that lets you effortlessly create step-by-step training guides. For example, let's say I want to explain to a team member how to add topics to their LinkedIn profile. I can take literally 10 seconds to create a Tango guide. All I do is press the Tango extension in my browser to start recording, then a small window will pop up and I go ahead and go to add topics in my LinkedIn profile, all while Tango is creating the guide. And once done, I just press the green tick and that's the guide created, as easy as that. And from there, when I want to share it, I click share and export, and I can either share the link, embed it, or export it as a PDF. Also note that Tango uses automated AI to write out the instructional headings for you, again saving even more time. This particular guide didn't have any sensitive information, but Tango also have an auto blur feature that will blur out sensitive information like passwords or usernames. And Tango's desktop app and browser extension are completely free to download and try out for yourself. You can check them out at tango.us, and I'll also add a link in the description below. The tracker pencil method. So picture yourself in a bustling city, navigating through winding streets with a trusty map in hand. That's the tracker pencil method. But for reading, it's your guide through the labyrinth of text. A simple pencil or your finger that leads your eyes steadily across the page like a compass pointing north. The usual problem is that our eyes are natural wanderers. They leap and bound across the lines like an overexcited puppy. A phenomenon known as visual regression is charming in a pet, but less so in our reading habits. So how do you use a tool like this? It's as easy as a stroll in the park. Hold your pencil or finger under the line you're reading and move it smoothly from left to right as you read. This simple act becomes a visual cue, a metronome for your eyes, encouraging them to follow a steady rhythm and pace. Now, I'd have described myself as a self-confessed slowpoke when it came to reading. Frustrated, I tried the tracker pencil method. Within a week or maybe 2 weeks, my reading speed increased significantly, and the words that once seemed to be quite difficult to follow, suddenly I was just reading them very quickly. It's not magic, it's a proven method, and with this pencil in hand, you're not just reading, you're learning a lot faster. The middle path. Imagine your eyes as two powerful spotlights. Most of us direct this spotlight word by word, inching across the page. But what if we've been missing the full show? Instead of fixating on each word from left to right, this method invites you to set your sights on the center of the line. So from this vantage point, your peripheral vision, those trusty sidekicks, captures the words flanking the center. It's like reading with a wide angle lens. So if you want to try it out, place a book or text in front of you, focus on the center of a line and resist the urge to dart your eyes. Practice until you can clearly discern the words at the edges while maintaining your central focus. And the result, in one word, it genuinely is transformative. This technique doesn't just turbocharge your reading speed, it can also focus on elevating comprehension as well, by encouraging the brain to process chunks of words as cohesive units. You're not just reading faster, you're understanding deeper. The art of practice. Imagine mastering the violin or excelling in tennis. What's the secret? The secret is practice, right? It's a new skill, and like any skill, it requires patience, dedication, and yes, practice. I found that trying these techniques, they did at first feel unnatural and perhaps even a dip in comprehension, but it's a common early hurdle. But don't be encouraged, because with consistent practice, this discomfort fades, and in its place emerges a more fluid, efficient reading style. It's science, it's not magic that turns the seemingly impossible into the achievable. But if your problem is not reading speed, but more reading comprehension and actually retaining what you just read, then I made a video. It's actually one of my most viewed videos on my channel, called How to Absorb Everything You Read. You can click on the card on the screen to watch that. And do check out this video's sponsor, Tango, link in the description below.